Harden's the only one who hasn't won a championship there, but Kyrie did make a shot. He did make that shot, and it was very crucial. What a comeback that was. But his Boston tenure was a complete washout. I mean, Kyrie's a four. Well, there's a lot of four-letter words in Boston that aren't four letters, but Kyrie is definitely one of them. And so I think he's got something to prove. The rest of the league,
he does too.
Well,
he clearly thinks he has something to prove.
He does. Well, I mean, okay. So the question is, you're saying the rest of the league is looking at them and saying that they're still quite beatable. And do you think Colin Sexton proved it, or what? What do you think?
Of guys. I think the ones who are less seduced by showmanship. I mean, I've talked to a few guys this week, and their whole thing is, hey, okay, well let's see what happens, because what happens. Harden has been a dud in the spring, a complete dud. He said, how many chances did he have with Houston with other great players? And he really didn't want to share the stage with Russell Westbrook or Chris Paul. I mean, let's face it. I mean, he didn't want to play with them. Otherwise, he'd still be playing with one of them at least. So Harden's been a dud. The adult in the room who's played no matter what all the time and just put playing at the forefront, regardless of what people can think whatever they think about his level of sensitivity, if they think he's overly sensitive, or they think he shouldn't have joined Golden State. All that's fodder for opinion. Kevin Durant will go out there and play, even if the result is he's going to have one leg to play on. We've seen him do it. Kevin Durant will risk everything he's got just to play. Kyrie Irving, personal reasons. Don't want to be there. Don't want to play in Memphis. Don't want to play without Durant. So those two, I think that the skepticism is really directed at them. I certainly have heard no skepticism directed at Kevin Durant, nor should there be.
So I guess then we'll put a button on it after this last one. Part of the reason why Kyrie didn't play, you believe, or you're hearing, is because of the schedule and the fact that Durant wasn't.
One of the many reasons. One of the many, and I'm not going to act like I've been an investigative reporter on this because it doesn't really matter, Rich. We know he's got a stack of reasons as to why he didn't play. And listen, one of them could certainly sound more noble if you are emotionally distraught after what happened on January 6th in the nation's capital. But you think he was the only one?
Right.
Think there weren't leagues, plural, full of players and staffers and coaches who were distraught, but they found their way to the arena. So I'm not buying, and we saw this before with Kyrie when he didn't want to play in the bubble. It didn't want anybody else to play. So it's up to him to prove that he can get out there, because he just missed 7 games. And it wasn't, the first X number of those were not related to anything about a COVID protocol. So, people, and it doesn't matter really what the excuse is. He's got to prove he can do this because of the way he left Boston. He left a team. It doesn't have as much talent as this Brooklyn team, but he left a team of guys who can play, and they should have been deeper in the playoffs, with him, and they were actually better without him.
Hey, you watched all the way to the end. Thanks for that. Watch more right here.